Aqua Moto Racing Utopia is a throwback to the classic Nintendo franchise Wave Race. It shamelessly steals the very same concept and doesn't do too much to hide it. It has the same family-friendly tone and feel, with very little that may offend anyone. It also abides strictly to the standard racing formula of Wave Race and many other games, by having you play through championships consisting of a few different races and scoring points based on what place you finish in. Aqua Moto is fairly predictable in that sense, and it really depends on whether or not that's what you're looking for. If you want the cutting edge of racing, then I would probably look elsewhere, but if you want a nostalgic experience that will keep you busy for a few days, then this might be for you. I'll just keep this simple and say that if you've ever played a racing game before, then you know what to expect from Aqua Moto Racing Utopia, for the most part. It is really fairly tame and is pretty much identical in terms of the basic setup to games like Mario Kart, 1080, Sledstorm, and the obvious Wave Race. The Utopia aspect of the name really comes into play though, because you can retry any race in the series if you don't do well enough, and even quit and return to the middle of a series if you feel like taking a break. The game's AI is challenging enough to make you feel like you're racing, but won't really put you to the test until you've come back for a second helping if you're looking to obtain optional trophies. There is also a leisure mode, in which you can explore the larger areas of the game in search of collectibles, some of which have crazy effects on the environment, like making alligators fly or spawning a giant shark. This mode is surprisingly fun and really makes the game overall feel like a vacation from the occasionally stressful and strict requirements of the other racing games I mentioned earlier. The game controls well and isn't frustrating to play, aside from the occasional mishap with the trick system, so it really is about the simple enjoyment of riding and racing a jet ski. The graphics in the game are fine, but pretty dated. Aside from the draw distance, which doesn't have any real limitations on what's displayed, it looks like the game was made about 10 years ago. Everything from the character models and animations to weather effects and UI, it all comes off as just, well, okay. Only the water looks like any real effort or budget was put into it, but it's not mind-blowing or anything. The good part is that the game runs great with no real noticeable slowdown or stuttering, which is the most important part to a good racing game. The sound is equally okay, with cheesy voices from your character, which were hopefully done by the developers themselves, and the awful announcing, which thankfully you can turn off. The music is nice though, definitely appropriate and not distracting, fitting with the vacation feel of the game. The overall package of Aqua Moto Racing Utopia is good, but could be a hard sell on the modern market. While the racing gameplay is great and trick gameplay is good, the graphics, sound, and customization all leave a little something to be desired. At the surface level, the game is barely a step up from generic, but we all know that gameplay is king. There is certainly fun to be had, and a fair amount of relaxation too. If the dying racing genre of old holds a special place in your heart, then this unsuspecting game might be just what you're looking for. So kick back, pour yourself a drink, and chill out, because the ride is smooth ahead. Aqua Moto Racing Utopia is currently available on the PlayStation 4, Wii U, and PC.